These 4 banks will approve a new LLC with $25,000 in credit with low to no docs. That means within just a few short months of forming the business, you can go out and find funding without bringing in 12 months worth of bank statements and 2 years of tax returns. Plus, they all come with 0% interest for up to 12 months. So I'll show you how to run a $200,000 funding play, how to get approved for multiple business cards and a business line of credit with no hard credit pull, and a new business card really nobody's talking about that comes with 0% interest for 12 months and a $500 intro bonus. So first on the list is Citizens Bank. This bank gave the largest starting limit I've seen in a really long time. Check out this data point. They said, I was just approved for a $25,000 line of credit with Citizens Bank through the Business Everyday Points credit card. Here's my application timeline. On Friday, I submitted the application. For documentation, I provided 6 months of bank statements, though only 3 months were requested to give a better overall picture. Then on Tuesday afternoon, I received the approval email. I am so happy. And here are my data points. As far as trade lines go, I was building trade lines with net 30s and monitoring with NAV. Then my DNB score was 80 with 6 trade lines reporting. My Experian was 88 with 2 active trade lines reporting. My Equifax was 380, which is poor, likely due to only 1 trade line reporting. My personal credit scores were TransUnion 693, Experian 702, and Equifax 692. My individual credit card utilization ranges from 0 to 67%, with higher utilization on my 0% APR cards. My overall personal credit utilization is about 42%, and I manage that using the Avalanche framework. It would have been much better if no proof of income was required, but asking for 3 months of bank statements is doable even for new LLCs that are just a few months old. So this is a manageable request, especially for those just starting out. Don't be thrown off by poor Equifax business scores either. Most banks are completely happy to lend to you even with very few net 30 accounts reporting. Ideally, you should aim to have at least 1 net 30 account reporting to each business credit bureau. And just like this person stated, I also use NAV for my business Barton Media LLC, and I have no trouble getting business credit approvals. I like that NAV reports to multiple business bureaus, unlike many other net 30 accounts that only report to 1 or 2 bureaus. Typically, you need good to excellent credit and over a 700 score to get approved for business credit. As you can see here, they were barely touching the high 600s. So this tells me that Citizens Bank is more relaxed when it comes to allowing people with fair credit to get approved. This person really had a subpar personal credit profile and still got approved nonetheless for a nice business credit limit. I mean, just think about it. They had a 42% personal usage rate, which is really not ideal. You should really aim for 10% or below before you start applying for credit to get higher starting limits. Managing your utilization effectively can make a significant difference in the credit limits that you're offered. And check out this data point. They said Citizens MasterCard, $40,500 approval. I closed my Everyday Points card to apply for the Platinum card though. My Everyday limit stood at $20,000, so I was expecting $20,000 to $25,000 on the Platinum. It did take some time between card closures and underwriting to get an approval though, and they didn't require any proof of income or bank statements. You can only have 1 business card with Citizens, and I was unhappy with my APR on the Everyday card. This was a soft pull on Equifax. I understand they pull personal and business, personal over 800 plus, and plenty of business credit. I left with $40,000 plus and 12 months of 0% APR. The card still has an APR of 20% though. You know, it's great to know that if you have a prior relationship with Citizens, you can get approved with just a soft credit pull and without needing to provide proof of income. This means the process is much smoother and less stressful. Getting a $40,000 plus starting limit is a dream come true and one of the highest I've seen in a long time. It's incredible to see such generous limits, especially when many banks are more conservative. This kind of approval can really set you up for success and give your business the boost it really needs. So just remember, Citizens is a regional bank, so you really need to be located near a physical branch to schedule an appointment with a business banker to sign up with them. And I'll leave up on the screen exactly where they have locations at around the US, but it's actually a regional bank that's mostly located in the Northeast and then Florida. And I know regional banks can be a little annoying because what if you don't live in that area of the country? So I gotta let you know about the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card, which I call the most valuable business card out there because the intro bonus starts at $750 and sometimes it even goes up to $900. And you still get 0% interest for 12 months. And the great thing is you can get approved anywhere in the country without being in a certain state to qualify. It earns 1.5% back on all purchases and you can get approved as a sole proprietor without starting a formal business. They approved my business, Barton Media LLC, for a $21,000 starting limit. And you know what? To this day, this is still my highest business credit card limit. So definitely hit that link below to learn how to apply for the Chase Inc. Business Unlimited card and collect that $750 intro bonus. Next up is M&T Bank and Business Card. This next person got approved for almost $200,000 in business credit in just one shot. So you want to pay close attention to this data point. They said, I started a credit sequence last month, and here's my progress so far. If anyone has other credit card recommendations, that would be great. I still have room for Experian and Equifax. My location is Vermont. My credit scores are TransUnion 850, Experian 837, and Equifax 810. I have 0 inquiries in the past 24 months. So these next cards are approved with 0% interest. The M&T Bank Business Card at $30,000 with an Experian hard pull. The Citizens Bank Business Card with a $50,000 starting limit with an Equifax soft pull. Chase Business Unlimited with a $20,000 limit, Experian hard pull. An Amex Blue Business Plus card with a $2,000 limit, and there was no pull at all. Then they got approved with Union Bank, which I think is a local bank to them in Vermont, and the underwriter is TCM. With that card, they had a $30,000 starting limit, and it was an Experian hard pull. Then they got approved for Bank of New Hampshire with Elon as the underwriter, which is just a subsidiary of US Bank if you didn't know. But it started with a $3,000 limit, and they're going to call to increase that, and it was a TransUnion hard pull. Then they went over to Northfield Savings Bank with another $3,000 limit, and they're going to call to increase that as well with a TransUnion hard pull. Then they got approved with Community Business Edition, and that was a $13,500 starting limit with an Experian hard pull. Then they got the GM Business Card. It had a $23,500 starting limit, and it was an Equifax soft pull. Then they got approved for a Bank of America Unlimited Cash Card for $9,000 with a TransUnion hard pull. And then the Amex Gold Card with a $50,000 spending power limit, and that was an Experian hard pull. They also went for a card that had no 0% interest period, and they did that with TD Bank with a $15,000 starting limit and an Experian hard pull. And if that wasn't enough, they went to Citizens Bank for a line of credit as well for $50,000, and that was an Equifax soft pull. They said, so far, I have $199,000 in approvals, not including the Amex Gold and the line of credit. I'm waiting on approvals from US Bank, BMO, Truist, and a few others as well. This really goes to show that these massive app sprees where you rack up new business credit limits all at once are totally possible. Just imagine how much you could achieve with your business with this kind of funding. In this case, they got approved for 6 cards that pull from Experian, 2 cards that pull from Equifax, and then 3 cards that pull from TransUnion. And really for the best results, you should spread the number of applications evenly across the credit bureaus. Ideally, it would have been 3 applications each for Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion, but even so, they ended up with great results. Really can't complain about that. And when it comes to American Express, they will do a hard pull on your Experian credit report for the first card with them, but every card after that is just a soft pull. That's why their Amex Blue Business Plus card was just a soft pull in their funding sequence. Now, remember, this person had 0 inquiries on their credit report in the last 2 years. You'll definitely want your credit report to be completely fresh as well before you attempt a big funding play like this. Aim for 024 status, meaning no new accounts opened in the last 2 years, and almost no credit card inquiries reporting either. This way, banks won't negatively judge you for seeking credit until you're almost done with your funding sequence. The fact that they got a soft pull credit card and a line of credit with Citizens Bank suggests to me that they must have had a long banking history with them. Lines of credit typically require tax returns and bank statements, while soft pull credit card approvals often require a prior banking relationship. That's why it's always good to start applying for business credit with banks where you already have personal and business accounts. They also mentioned that they plan to call and increase their limit, which is really a smart move. It's always a good idea to ask for a credit limit increase right before you activate the card. I've seen other data points that have shown that you can get approved for increased limits by $5,000 to $10,000 instantly this way. If they ask you why you need an increase, you can give them a reason that makes sense for your business and shows you're investing in ways to increase your business revenue. I mean, you could say things like, I'm looking to purchase additional inventory to keep up with the growing demand of our products. Or you could say we're planning to expand our marketing efforts and the extra credit will help fund new campaigns to boost our revenue. You could even say that our business is taking on larger projects and a higher limit will give us the capital we need to manage those effectively. Now, here's another one that I like. You could say we're upgrading our equipment to improve efficiency and productivity, and the additional funds will support this investment. And if you already have employees, maybe you have a few people already on staff, you could say, we're hiring new employees to take on larger jobs, and the increased credit limit will help cover the costs associated with bringing them on board. Now, by using these strategies and reasons, you can maximize your chances of getting funding to grow your business. And since M&T Bank is also a regional bank, I'll leave the states where you can actually go into a bank locally and then set up an account with a business banker. Again, these are mostly in the Northeast and New England. And the next one is Bank of America. And a lot of people already have relationships with Bank of America, and you already know and trust them. Now, I had no idea Bank of America was handing out no doc starting limits that were this high. So check this out. It said Bank of America Business Advantage approval, $25,000. I applied for this Bank of America card as I already had a personal relationship with them. They did a TransUnion hard pull at the time of applying for my LLC. My approval was not instant though. I had to chase down some additional verifications they wanted, like address, personal info, etc. But no other docs were requested or required. There was no formal notification of the approval after I provided what they needed, and days later, the card just showed up. So most of the large commercial banks pull from Experian, and since Bank of America is pulling TransUnion, that means you have one more slot open with Experian to apply with another bank that's going to probably be pulling from that credit bureau. Also, you may need to submit identity verification documents, but thankfully, you can get approved without proof of income here as well. This is great if you don't have any business revenue yet. It really helps those who are starting out and haven't built up their income streams yet. And here's another data point. It said Bank of America Business Cash Rewards, $20,000 starting limit approval. A week ago, I went to my local branch to open a business checking account for the $300 sign-up bonus. At that time, I also had an offer for a $500 sign-up bonus on this card, but I decided to pass. Yesterday, I figured I'd just take the offer, but when I went to the branch, I was told the $500 sign-up bonus offer was no longer available, but there was a $300 offer. I said no thanks and walked out. Then, thanks to Doctor of Credit, I found a direct link to the $500 sign-up bonus and applied. Got an instant approval for $20,000 at a 15.7% APR. My business relationship with Bank of America is only a week old from opening the checking account, but I've had a personal checking for a few years and 2 personal credit cards. I'm not sure if it matters, but I'm platinum in the personal preferred rewards program just from deposits into the checking account. I don't keep the money in there long, but that helped me qualify unexpectedly. Exposure with Bank of America is now $88,900 between 2 personal credit cards plus $20,000 on the new business card. They didn't take away any credit limit for my personal credit cards to open this card, so I'm at $108,000 total. When I saw the starting limit, I was expecting to see a reduction on the personal credit cards, but luckily it didn't happen. I suppose the usual $99,000 total limit on credit card applies to personal cards or business cards separately. I'm not sure. They pulled TransUnion at 759 with 8 inquiries. I'm finally down to 524 after a long time. I learned my lesson and waited an additional month after accounts reached the 2-year mark. Under my calculations, I was at least 524 last month, but Barclays denied me for the first time, saying I'd opened 10 cards in the last 24 months. The count resets in month 25 for those who may not know. You know, I'm really happy they said this because your 524 status doesn't reset until you complete the full 24 months, not the moment that you enter your 24th month. It's important to keep this in mind when planning your credit card applications. And be aware that you can find better sign-up bonuses in different places, and it's not always best to apply in person. Some banks like Capital One create multiple online landing pages with different sign-up bonuses for the exact same card. So you could be missing out just by clicking the wrong link for the same card. I know it's wild how much you can miss out on if you're not careful. Always check multiple sources to make sure you're getting the best offer available. Now, the next bank is Wells Fargo. I gotta say, this next data point convinced me to apply with Wells Fargo for my next business credit card application. They said Wells Fargo Business Platinum $20,000 soft pull approval. I recall reading last year about a member that opened a business account with Wells Fargo and in the process was notified they were pre-approved for a credit card and a business line of credit as they perform a personal experience soft pull during account opening. Wells Fargo uses FICO 9 for credit cards, and my FICO 9 is 832. The banker told me I was pre-approved with a credit card with a $20,000 starting limit. I was not offered a business line of credit though. I accepted during the process and there was no Experian hard pull. I'm not sure if they pull from Experian Business at the same time though. Admittedly, I was skeptical that it could be that easy, but sure enough, it was. And you know what? When you apply in person, always be on the lookout and ask about pre-approvals and offers. These can really be your easy way into new business credit cards and help you snag a great deal without much work. It turns out this person had a lengthy history with Wells Fargo on the personal side. So even though they just opened the business account, it was still only a soft pull for them. This really shows the value of having a strong personal banking relationship when you're looking to expand into business credit. And when I looked this card up, I noticed that the Business Platinum card is no longer listed on their site. And Wells Fargo just launched a new card called the Signify Business Cash Card. It offers a $500 intro bonus, unlimited 2% cash rewards, which I really like, and 0% APR for 12 months. And I'm really thinking that this is going to be my next business card, and I'll keep you updated on my experience with it once I actually apply. And listen, if you want to see 4 more banks that will approve a new LLC with $20,000+ in credit completely without proof of income, then hit that next video right now. And thank you for watching.